You're listening to Not If, But How, the Mission Society podcast, dedicated to helping you discover your call through stories, tips, and news from our missionaries and Christian leaders around the globe.
Today we're talking to Claire Mozley, who with her husband and 3 children serves as a cross-cultural witness in Ghana, West Africa, working in ministry centering on evangelism and discipleship. How were you called to serve as a missionary?
I was a new Christian, and I went to a church that was having their Mission Sunday. And I was in college, and I just went to church wherever I could get a ride at that point. And the pastor shared about cross-cultural missions, and I'd never heard of it before, ever. And it was that, I felt my heart strangely warmed. And I thought, Lord, this is what I feel like you're calling me into. I don't even know what it is. I didn't really even know what it meant to have a call at that point. But as he shared just about the need for cross-cultural ministry for Christ, I knew that that's what God was calling me to do. So as I grew in my faith and was discipled and learned more about, how the church works together and how missions works and all that.
So how many years were there between when you first felt called and when you moved to Ghana?
Almost 20 years, really, before I was full-time living in Ghana. And this is an interesting part of that. We were always ready to go. We both felt called into missions, and he did seminary, and, we did all the things that we thought would get us ready to go to serve in Ghana. And the Lord kept closing the door. And we didn't really know why. We loved the other ministries that we got involved in and the jobs and things that he did, but it wasn't until we got to Ghana and really walked through the reality of living and working cross-culturally and ministering overseas that I realized that 13 years before that, I thought I was ready.
Can you talk a bit about the ministries you're involved in?
We really went to Ghana to be cheerleaders for the Ghanaian Christians. There are very wonderful, educated, exciting believers there in Ghana, and we just wanted to stand beside them and encourage them, and if we had resources that could help them in their ministry, if they could teach us, we could teach them. That's what we wanted to do. So we call ourselves cheerleaders. And we work with the Methodist Church Ghana in lots of areas, in children's ministry and evangelism and church planting, leadership development. And then we take teams out into those villages where the caretakers live and minister and work, and then we minister with them and to the people in the villages. So our ministry is really birthed out of the relationships that we've developed rather than starting something and then building relationships from there.
How have you seen the Lord working through the ministries you're involved in?
My ministry is discipleship, and sometimes that's one-on-one, sometimes it's small group Bible studies and discipleship type studies. But I'm walking with a lady now through a discipleship process who is a new believer, and she was raised in a Muslim family and never knew anything about Christianity or the Bible or anything. And she came to the Lord, and the man that led her to the Lord brought her to my neighbor, and my neighbor brought her to me. She said, you need to teach this lady. And so we meet several times in the week and just go through God's Word together. And it is so exciting to just study God's Word with somebody that has never studied it before, never understood it before, never heard it before. All the Bible stories are new and exciting to her.
What piece of advice would you give to someone considering missionary service?
We're talking to a young couple who leaves in about 3 weeks for their field of service, and it's not an easy road. It's a leaving and a cleaving. Keep your eye on the goal. You forget that there are people who that goal is piercing their heart.
How has the Mission Society helped you with your cross-cultural ministry?
What I love about this agency is that we are so encouraging and entrepreneurial, and we are so supportive of people hearing God's call and following it. And we don't ever have to be plugged into a job that's already on the field. We can share our vision, and we can walk through the training process, and then we can go and do what God's called us to do.
Thank you for listening. Remember, it's not a matter of if you're called, but how. For more information on the Mission Society and how we can help you learn, give, go, pray, or connect, visit our website at www.themissionsociety.org. While you're there, subscribe to our free quarterly magazine or download more information.